Hey, welcome back to Sprue2. Today I'm finishing up the M3A1 Stuart from Academy in 1/35th scale. So before anything else, I put the decals on. I'm not the biggest fan of decals, so I only used 4 and didn't exactly follow any patterns that the kit provided. I just went with some basic stars and then a couple unit markings. So I just soak the decals in water for a little while until they start sliding off the paper. It's just not special, that's what I meant. It's not special water, it's just cold tap water. And I just cut the little parts out that I need and then soak them for a while. And then there I'm using a little bit of decal solution to try to make them stick better, because I have a tendency to mess up decals after I put them on. And then this is a new technique for me. I'm using this dimensional craft paste to try to make some mud. I wasn't sure how this was going to end up. I just stippled it on. I got a lot on the return rollers, which I kept wiping off. But this actually worked really well. It says it might take overnight to dry, but with this tiny amount it was dry in like 5 minutes. So I was really happy with how this turned out actually. Ended up looking really good. It doesn't look good now because it's white, but the bottle says you can mix it with paint, but I think it's fine to just paint over it later. So I just stippled it all over, especially on the return rollers, so I could wipe it off and have a nice little fun time with that. I didn't do the entire bottom because you're never going to see it. I just did around the edges. Then I tried to concentrate it around where the road wheel bracket things, I guess, are. Yeah, just where the suspension is built up. And then after that, while I left the paste to dry a little while, I started doing some chipping. I mixed a very, very light olive drab color for some light chips, and I used a sponge to put them concentrated along all the sharp edges. Then I went back with a paintbrush, a really small paintbrush, and used the lighter color on all the bolts on the turret. I forgot to do this on the hull, which probably would have made it a bit better, but next time. So yeah, I just went around and made some other spots more heavily chipped where it sort of made sense for them to be, especially along the edges. You can see I'm pretty much filling it entirely in along the edge. I'm by no means an expert at this. I have seen lots of videos. I'm sure you've also seen Night Shift, who is the example of weathering, I think. I hope someday I can get close to the results he gets. But until then, this is all we got. I also used the lighter color on the ammo box because it seemed a little bland on the machine gun, so I kind of dry brushed it on, almost. And then I did the same process for the hull. Just the upper hull, I was leaving the lower hull out. I don't think it's really too noticeable that it's not chipped because it's all covered with mud. I wasn't sure about getting the olive drab color sort of light paint on the tools on the back because they're not olive drab. as I painted them, but I think it looks okay. It kind of looks like they were olive drab at some point, which I believe is historically accurate, but they're just really worn down. Then I did the same process with the paintbrush, though it wasn't going very well, so I gave up very quickly. I don't have a lot of confidence in hand painting chips, so I only did that tiny amount. And then this is also a first for me. I did some dark steel chipping with German camo black brown, which I actually have now, not just normal black. It's a really good color for this. I'm sure you've also seen videos on how to chip, so you just pick the bigger spots of light chipping and fill in the center with the dark color to simulate the paint having worn away deeper in the center of gouges and scratches and stuff. Particularly like the exposed edges and high traffic areas. I don't think my results with this are that noticeable or good. This is my first time doing this, so I think I need to do more brush painting for the light chips so that there's more space for the dark chips, and then they'll be more noticeable. Like, unless you know where to look for them, they're kind of hard to find. I made sure here to do everything either off screen or out of focus. Just wanted to keep it all to myself. Seems like my camera really wants to focus on the grid on my cutting board. Cutting mat. Cutting thing. Along with the German camo black brown, I got a whole set of weathering paints from Vallejo. I'm too scared to use them so far, especially since I don't think I did enough chipping on here to justify rust. Also, I don't know how to do rust. It terrifies me. I've done rust exactly once on a KV2, and it looks a little flat because I didn't know what I was doing, but it's still rust, I guess. Maybe on one of my next models I can add some rust. Not the next one, which I've already started. Not the one after that either. Maybe after that. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment and tell me what I should do next. Well, not next or next, but next. Also, while you're at it, smash that like button. And while you're at it, smash that subscribe button. Just a bunch of smashing. Oh yeah, so here I'm painting a light dirt color. It's supposed to be like dried mud. It's just a light brown color, and I covered all of the dimensional paste and a little bit more so that there's sort of the texture is covered, but also there's some parts that are a bit flatter. And then after that I went in with a darker, and I was hoping shinier, because it's just a different kind of paint. It's still acrylic, but it's a different brand, and it's kind of shiny, but I don't know if it dries shiny. But yeah, I went with a darker color and covered some of the dry mud, and it's supposed to look like wet mud, again focusing around where the texture is and where mud would build up, I think. And then the last thing to do was the tracks. This kit also comes with individual ink tracks, but I was scared to do them, even though the next thing I'm doing only had individual ink tracks. But I just tried dry brushing these, and it didn't really work, so then I just stippled some mud on, which also didn't work great. And then I tried melting them together like it recommends, and that didn't work. And then I tried super gluing them, which also didn't work, so I just ended up stapling them together, which worked. And I just put the join on the top edge in the middle so that you can't see the join or the staple. And it's done. Ta-da! I really like how the mud happened. Here's a man, not in focus. Hold on. Hand. There he is. I painted him a while ago, but he is for this. I left the top and bottom detachable so you can see the inside, so all of my hard work was not for nothing. I'm really happy with how the mud turned out. I'm kind of surprised that my idea worked as well as it did. And yeah, more chipping in the future. Please come back for more. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Especially you, Brian. I made that name up. Alright, bye. Have a nice day.